everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and tonight is our June release party. We are so glad that all of you are joining us tonight because we have our illustrators here who are going to be sharing some of their samples for you, projects that they've made using their new stamps and dies. We've got a brand new card kit, and we've got a little extra surprise in there to share with you tonight too. So I am so grateful to see all of you. We missed you last week. We took the week off last week to celebrate our daughter's birthday, and it was a lot of fun. We went away, and it was really great. Our whole family was together, and it was very special, but we sure did miss you, and we are glad to be back. So before we get the party rolling, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Where have we been?
I know, right?
Release the hounds.
Are you ready for tonight?
It's great. You will, yeah. A lot of neat stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Tom's been watching me make cards for the last 3 days, nonstop at home in my studio. I've been just, my fingers were so inky today, I actually had to wash my hands with alcohol. And not the good kind, you know, the kind that we clean the stencils with, just to try to get the ink off. But you know, nothing feels better than inky fingers, right?
Yeah, and you were going through things, you know. You had to try a few things, and
always do.
Some things fly in the trash really fast, and
a lot of things fly in the trash really fast. But that's okay. That's part of the process, right?
Yeah.
Well, shall we show everybody what's free tonight, Tom? Our new incentive?
Let us show.
All right. Well, we have 2 brand new incentives. Plus, we always have our regular cardstock incentive. And at Gina K Designs, anytime that you spend $75 in product purchase or more, you get to choose a free gift. And we have 3 different free gifts. This way, if you choose to place more than one order throughout the month, you have more options. It is limit 1 gift per order. And we always do some really neat stamp sets. So I didn't even check my overhead camera, so I'm just going to see how this is going to look here. Here we go. Here is our very first incentive set. Let me zoom in on this a little bit here. So this is called, ooh, that's really tight. This is called Gentle Geranium. And I absolutely love this. This is geranium season, right? At least up here in the north. We do tons of geraniums in our boxes outside of our house. I love geraniums. I think they are one of the most beautiful summer flowers. And we've done geraniums before, but this one's a little different. It's got a lot of geraniums on there, and it kind of comes in from the side. It's got some beautiful greetings on here too, which I think are perfect for encouragement cards. I'm here for you. That is like the perfect card to send somebody that's going through anything, whether it's, you know, a job loss or a breakup or a divorce or anything, just to say, I'm here for you. You don't have to say anything more than that, just to let them know. And then I love this one. Keep your face toward the sun and the shadows will fall behind you. Such great advice for young people who are graduating or anybody that is just kind of going through it and just has to remember just to try to stay as positive as possible. So this one is yours free with any $75 purchase or more. What's going to happen is once you put $75 in your cart, a pop-up will appear. It'll give you all 3 choices, the 2 new incentive sets or the cardstock. You pick whatever you want and add it to your cart. And it takes a little, like a minute for it to show up in your cart. So once you click it, don't worry, it'll show up. And you will get that with your order as long as your order is $75 in product. Now we also sell a coordinating die set for people who are interested in dies. Not everybody wants dies for these stamp sets, but some people do. Like me, I love to pop everything up. And so this is the coordinating die set that you can also find in the What's New category. Now tonight I actually made a card for you using this set. This is just, I was playing when I was up with our daughter for her birthday, and I just brought some stamps and some some colored pencils and some Gamsol, and I colored this image, and I wanted to show you a little card that I made here. And you will notice that there is a really pretty little background there. That is called the Pin Dot Background Stamp. That is new by Deborah Warner tonight, and she's going to show you lots of different cards that she made using this background. But I added the geraniums, but I cut them out. You see, I die cut them and I popped them up to give them a little bit of dimension. And this way, you can do a background stamp like that, and you don't have pin dots all over your geraniums. And then I use the keep your face toward the sun and the shadows will fall behind you. So I wanted to make a card with this new incentive just because I loved it so much. And I'm real into gardening these days, and geraniums are definitely one of my favorites. I have them right outside the front of my house right now. So this one you will find when you add $75 or more to your cart. Now this is the first one. Now we always have a second incentive set. So let me show you that one. It is so cute. Everybody really liked it when they saw it in our Facebook group yesterday. This is called Hey Honey, and it is a cute little bee set. So you've got two little bees, you've got a hive, you've got a honey jar, and what is this thing called, Tom? The honey scooper? I don't know.
Somebody will tell us.
Okay, we need to know what this thing is called, but I know you put it in there to get honey out, and then you hold it over your tea. So, and what I love about this set too, I just want to back up a little bit because it's so close. What I love about this set is this little stitched line. That, to me, when I see that, it makes the buzzing sound, right? That's the sound of the bee buzzing around on your card. And then it's got some cute little greetings here. Oh, it's a dipper. Thank you so much. It's a dipper. Thank you, everybody. What's the buzz? Hey, honey, you're sweet, and just because. And because I made a card for the first one, I had to make a card with the second one. So here is the card that I made with this, and I just used our sea, sun, and sky background to make these clouds using some sea glass ink. And then I added, you know how I always make all these elements for future cards? I had made a couple of these elements from our Delicate Florals or Delicate Flowers stamp set. Brianne Loveland is here. I saw her. She'll know exactly which set this came from. But I just had these colored, and they were sitting in a box, and I thought, oh, I don't know what kind of branch to hang this beehive from. And these were just sitting in the box. So I grabbed them and I pulled them out and stuck them to the card. And then I cut all of these out with the coordinating die set, everything except this little buzz. Although that does have a die, I didn't use it for this card. And I know it's not a buzz. It's just like a little movement line, but it just sounds buzzy to me. And I don't know if you can see, probably not, but on the wings I used a little bit of the Sakura Jelly Roll clear pen, the little glitter pen in there to add some glitter to their wings. I just colored this beehive with some Copic markers, and I just colored these with Copic markers, and then these were colored with the coloring stencils that go along with this stamp set. And after the party tonight, I will I'll put in the description the different stamp sets that I used for any of my samples if they're not part of the new release, so that you can find them easily. But isn't that so fun? Just an easy card, just because. Great little friendship card. So this is our second incentive. Again, $75 or more in product purchase. You'll get a pop-up, and you can choose the Hey Honey stamp set if this is the one that you prefer. All right, well, those are our incentive sets for tonight. Now I have a little surprise thing to show you. I don't even know if you saw it in the What's New category, but tonight in the kit, we released the second part of our, remember last month's kit had Mr. Fix-It, and I said stay tuned because we have Sun in a set. Well, that's going to be in tonight's kit. But I was thinking that some of us are old enough to have grandkids, right? So I wanted to do something where you could add the word grand, or you could add grandmother, grandfather, granddaughter, grandson. So we did some sentiment sheets right here. These are sentiment sheets that you can use the all-at-once die plate to cut these out. Now let me show you what these look like, because they look very tiny here and they're not quite that tiny. So although these look like polyglaze, these are not printed with polyglaze, but they are printed with toner. So you can foil these if you want to, but you don't have to. Just like all of our sentiment strips, you could foil them or you don't have to. But these are the ones that you put that plate right over and you can cut out grand, which means that you can add that to any die any stamp or die that you have. So if you have a mother die, stamp or die, you have a father stamp and you just want to add grand to it, you could cut this out as a strip sentiment and pop it right up over it. Then we have grandpa, grandma, grandson, grandchild, life is grand, grandmother, grandfather, and granddaughter. So you get 5 of these sheets, which is 10 full sets of these in black, and then you get another 5 of these, which is 10 because they're 2 up, in white. So you have 20 sets of these. Now for the white ones, you can just foil them if you want, or you can cut them out with the dies and you can ink blend over them to change the background to another color. So these are all available now, and these are a great price point. So we're going to start doing our sentiment strips in these smaller sets like this because they're very easy to control. I love the way they work with this die plate. So if you don't have this die plate, make sure you pick this up because we've got stamp sets that coordinate. We're going to have more sentiment sheets that coordinate with this die plate. It's called All at Once. I don't have it here. I left it at home because I was playing with it. But this is something new, the way that we're going to be doing our sentiment sheets. Now, I did see a question. Somebody said, I can't find the new kit. The new kit isn't always in the What's New category. Sometimes it doesn't show up there. But if you just hit the shop tab, it'll be the first product you see. And the reason for that is because the What's New category, I think there's something about it because we don't wholesale it, that it's tagged differently and people sometimes can't find it. But it is there. Just hit the shop tab and you'll see it come right up. All right, well, I'm going to show you a couple of our other illustrators sets tonight before we bring in our illustrators that are here with card samples. So we've got some beautiful sets from some of our illustrators, and the first one I want to show you is a brand new set by Hannah Drapinski. And for those people that love to stitch, this is a beautiful Home is Where the Heart Is set that looks like cross stitch. So let me see if I could take it out of the package. Sometimes it's easier to see when it's not in the package because we get a lot of glare. These are packed pretty tight in here because it's got the die set too on the other side. These are the Stampin' Die bundles. Okay, let's see if this helps a little bit. So we've got Thinking of You, Welcome Home, Home is Where the Heart Is, With Sympathy, Get Well Soon, Happy Birthday, and then Kindred Spirits Are Not So Scarce as I used to think. It's splendid to find out there are so many of them in the world. So this is a really beautiful quote that fits in here. Now, all of these fit in here. So you could just do this one in the center like you were cross-stitching these words, or you can put these into the ring. And you can use markers to get different colors if you want to do that. Or you can do it all in black. You can do it in rainbow. You can do it however you want. But all of these fit inside the ring. And then there is a coordinating die that is just the ring. And the reason why we only did the ring for this one is because everything else is meant to be inside of this hoop. So this is such a cute set for all of you out there that love to stitch. And I know a lot of you like to stitch on your cards, but for those of you who maybe haven't broken into that hobby yet because you have enough with card making, but you like the look of stitching, this is a perfect one to get you started. And then if you want, you can stamp this background. You could mask this off if you wanted. And you could stamp this background with the gauze stamp to make it look a little bit more like fabric. or you can add the new pin dot, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, just to give it a little bit of extra texture. So this is such a fun set by Hannah Drapinski, and you're going to see some beautiful samples from our guest designers who are joining us this week to make beautiful samples for our illustrators, and you will be able to see some really pretty things with this. So thank you, Hannah, if you're watching. We love your new set. It's absolutely beautiful. Home is where the heart is. All right, now the next set I want to show you is a brand new set by Dina Gerner. And this is absolutely adorable. It's called Hedgehogs in Happiness. And let me pull this one out too, because the glare is hard for me in here. We figured out how to make things sparkle more with our lights, but now I get a little more glare, and that's okay because I want to sparkle anytime I can. I want to sparkle. So let's try this. So here we've got 4 adorable hedgehogs doing different things, holding different things. This one's having its morning coffee. This one looks like it's got a bowl of treats, and this one is carrying some flowers. We also have 2 snails that are facing in different directions. We've got some ladybugs. We've got some additional accessories like a little tree stump and some grass, these beautiful flowers, and then some beautiful greetings. I'm telling you, Dina Gerner has such a way with words, really. Her greetings are absolutely gorgeous. I use them for all kinds of other cards too, not just hers. I love her stamps and her cute critters, but I find that the way that she does these greetings, it's both cute and elegant. I don't know how to explain it. It's absolutely adorable with the hedgehogs, yet you put this over a floral design, and it is one of the most elegant looking things. So she's got some days will be prickly, but many more days will be curled in happiness, which is adorable for the hedgehog and the little snail friends together, right? Every gathering needs a bowl full of treats and a heart full of friendship. I love that. And a friend loves at all times. That's from Proverbs. So this is such a cute set. Now, it does come either as a stamp set only or as a stamp and die bundle, so you can get the full die set that coordinates with it. I always get the dies when it comes to any kind of little critters. Well, I always get the dies with everything because I like to die cut everything that I can. I just think it gives so much more dimension to the cards. Even like, I mean, I could have easily, just as an example, I could have easily just stamped this and the bees and done some masking. But when you see the dimension on the card, you see how everything is just lifted up. I feel like it adds so much more elegance to the card. Even just that. I mean, you certainly could stamp those flowers right on the card, but look how pretty things look when they're popped up. So the stamp and die bundles are very popular for that reason. And this one, of course, comes with that coordinating stamp set. All right, Dina, you've done it again. I love this. I love how all your little animals mix and match because you have them sized perfectly to create little groups of friends, and they're all just so adorable. So this is called Hedgehogs in Happiness, and it's available now in the What's New category at GinaKDesigns.com. All right, now I'm going to show you the last set that our illustrator isn't here for. This one is a must-have. I mean, this is just one of those sets that when you read all the things, and I will read them to you because they're really great. Everybody needs good inside greetings. And the thing about inside greetings are, if you make a birthday card for your sister or for your friend, and then next year you make another birthday card, you could probably get away with the same happy birthday on the front because they may not remember that. And with all the other different things that you would have on the front, that happy birthday may not be that big of a deal. Maybe, I don't know. I like to change it up. But the inside greeting is meaningful. And if they collect your cards and you're using those same inside greetings over and over again for the same people, that's, you know, I personally don't want to do that. I want to have new, fresh inside greetings. We've got a fantastic series of inside greetings, but anytime one of our illustrators does an inside greeting set, I grab it and I run. So this is called Inside Edition. And one of the things that I like about this is it's such a cute font. So we have some beautiful inside greetings that are more, I guess, you know, maybe a little bit more of an elegant font, but this one is such a fun font. So it would be perfect to mix in with this stamp set, right? It would be perfect to mix in with Dina's stamp set because it's just got that cuteness about it. It's got 18 different things that you can stamp inside. You were on my mind today, so I thought to send a quick note your way. This card is being sent with love to you for all that you are going through. That's so good. May your birthday be a wonderful celebration of the person you truly are. Thinking of you during this difficult time and sending all our love and sympathy. One more candle on the cake doesn't age you. It just makes the world a little brighter. Isn't that adorable? If knowing someone cares helps the healing process, then you should be feeling better soon. Belated birthday wishes. So sorry I almost forgot. You are amazing in all that you do and everything you do. I'm sorry. You are amazing in all that you are and everything you do. I was reading ahead. Hoping your birthday is bright and full of good cheer, with enough joy and pleasure to last through the year. May all your hopes and dreams come true and your future be filled with happiness. That's a great one, too, for graduations and weddings and all of that. There really couldn't be a better time to say, I wish you all the very best on your special day. Wishing you a birthday filled with dreams and a year in which they all come true. So thankful for our friendship. I am so blessed to have you in my life. Because you were so thoughtful, warm thanks are being sent your way with more appreciation than words can ever say. I have searched the world over and looked throughout the land, and the best card I could find for you was the one I made by hand. Oh, that makes me almost tear up a little bit. And then there's this one. Some things get better with age, and you are certainly one of them. And then I am here for you today and always. And then handmade with love that you can stamp on the back of your card or on the envelope. So isn't that great? I mean, these are just such great greetings. So many great things to stamp inside your cards. And some of them actually make me feel very emotional, especially this last one, because we do put so much love into the cards that we make for people. And that is a great one to stamp inside. All right, well, this is called Inside Edition. Now, this one does not have a die set because this is meant to be stamped inside your card, right on the card. If you want to do some layering, what I like to do, and I do this all the time with my cards. So I will cut out like a Master Layouts 2 or a Master Layouts 1 panel. If you don't have Master Layouts, you can cut like a panel that's like 3 3/4 by 5 inches in white. And then I like to stamp my inside greeting, and then I like to write on it. Then I layer it onto black or whatever color you like to layer on, and then I adhere it inside the card. Because I'm always so afraid that I'm going to mess up. And if I mess up, I didn't already glue it into the card. So I do a bunch of panels for the insides of my cards, and I just kind of have them sorted. Birthday, get well, thinking of you. And then I make the outside of the card mostly for you guys, right? And then when I get to this point, I'm like, okay, I want to send this card to somebody. Then I kind of flip through all of the greeting panels that I made and I sign it and then I glue it right into my card. So this way you don't have to worry about ruining your card or tearing anything on the inside. And it's something great to do when you don't have a lot of mojo. Just make a bunch of inside panels that are ready to go. All right. Well, the Inside Edition is now available at GinaKDesigns.com in the What's New category. Are we ready? Are we ready for some of our illustrators? I think we are. And the first illustrator that we have waiting in the wings is the incredible Lisa Hetrick. And she has this brand new stamp and die bundle that also has a coloring stencil. Lisa's been really getting into the coloring stencils lately, and a lot of you have been loving it. I love coloring stencils. They just make things really easy. And this beautiful Note of Encouragement stamp and die bundle is absolutely phenomenal. I love the way Lisa sets mix and match together. Her elements are very consistent as far as size, so you can always build upon the last set with the next set. And this one is absolutely beautiful. So I'll let her tell you all about it. Let's welcome her to the program, Lisa Hetrick.
Hi friends, it's Lisa Hetrick. Hi Gina. Hi Tom. Hello everyone. And welcome to our June release party. I'm super excited to be here with you tonight. This release party is chock full of goodness. So let's not waste any time and let's dive into my brand new stamp set called Note of Encouragement. Okay, friends. I'm super excited about this stamp set. I know I say that every single month, but I am super excited about this stamp set. It kind of coordinates, it does or goes well with other stamp sets in my collection, my recent collection. And I'm just super excited about this one. It feels very melodic and fun and has some really beautiful sentiments in it. And also, I'm introducing this beautiful violin that is just kind of carrying through a little bit of a theme that I've got going this year. And I'm just kind of excited about it. I have a little story, a little inspiration story about the violin. But first, we've got the stamp set, the coordinating die set, and a stencil, a coloring stencil that is available as an add-on with this stamp set and stamp set bundle that I think you're going to love. And I'm going to go through all of the elements of the stamp set. So let's dive in and take a peek at all of the elements of the stamp set. Okay, so in the stamp set, we've got that nice, very large kind of hero image. This is the violin. We've got some supporting leafery, always going to have leafery. And these beautiful flowers that are opening in different directions. Again, these are graphic flowers. They can be any kind of flower depending upon how you change up the colors. And I'm going to share that in the samples. This beautiful little bud that's opening up and these cute little daisies or little sunflower elements. So lots of beautiful flowers, leafery and greenery. And then I have this other piece right here that's kind of on the arc. In the last couple stamp sets, I've created this open line leafery floral elements that kind of coordinate and work around one of the larger stamp set. So I did that again in this stamp set. We've got some really cute filler elements, this little swoosh, I'm going to just call it a really fun flourish swoosh, and these music notes that really coordinate well with this music staff that comes across for our, in a really, really funky way. I'm going to share that with you. 3 fun sentiments. A beautiful life is a collection of unforgettable moments. This is just the sentiment that just means so much to me this month. A note of encouragement, and I hope this brightens your day. Just really, really fun sentiments. And there's also coordinating dies to cut out the sentiments. I love that we're doing that. There's also coordinating dies to cut out all of the elements with the exception of our little swoosh and the music notes because they are kind of tiny. Take a little peek at the coordinating stencil that goes with this stamp set. So we have the stamp and the stencil coloring elements. You can kind of see through this paper, so let's move this a little bit. The coordinating stencil elements so that you can outline, color in the outline of the violin and also the inside and also the bridge and also the top part, which is really kind of nice to get that whole entire combination going for the violin. And the other coloring stencil elements, I have the stamps, the 2 stencil coloring stencil pieces for the florals so that you can get the combination. Same thing with this stamp and stencil and combination. So that is on the stencil as well. This is a really big a lot of elements on this stencil for you. Same thing here with the stamp, the stencil, and the combination. Even all of those little tiny bits and crevices just really come through beautifully on this stencil. Okay, and again, the stamp, the stencil. So we've got the stem and the leafery and the actual bloom. And then I have a really, really fun stamp in this set that's just kind of a beautiful banner that's just very flowy. So I do have the stamp, the stencil, and the combination. And the other thing about that particular stamp is that there is a die. So you get the stamp, you get the stencil, you get a combination where you can color it, and you also get the die. So you can use the die as a standalone element. And I love all of these different kinds of combinations of uses that you can have with the stamp set. So when I'm designing them, I'm always trying to think of options like that for you. Okay, friends, let's dive in and take a look at the inspiration. I'm super excited to share this with you. I have a few cards to share with you tonight, and I'm also going to be going live this Thursday with a brand new tutorial. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But here's my first card to share with you. Really fun inspiration using the staff as a background element. It's such an interesting lines. They're really thin and they've got a really nice movement to them that you could use it for so many different things. I really like it in this stamp set as a grounding background element for these florals and that little fun swooshy swirl, just kind of super fun. Okay, really clean and simple card here. I used the die for the banner element and just kind of blended in a little bit of color, put the note of encouragement on here, did some really simple waterfall of those beautiful daisies, and added these two florals that I did a little bit of a combination of coloring with. I did some stencil coloring and then also did a little bit of alcohol marker coloring over top. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that technique this week in the live tutorial. Okay, I love this. This card really gives you a good sense of how large the violin element is and how many different color combinations that you can do with it. Of course, it is a wide open stamp that you can do a lot of techniques in. You can do watercoloring, you can do alcohol markers, you can do colored pencils. But with the coordinating coloring stencil, you can also stencil in all of the elements of the violin, which makes it super, super fun. And I've got some leafery here, and that staff is just kind of exploding out the side with the little music notes. And I hope this brightens your day as the sentiment. This is just a really fun card. I have a really, really special story about violin that my daughter played violin for many, many years. My nephew Jackson is just graduated from college. He plays violin as well and viola, and he's moving on to college to pursue that further. So the violin has always been something near and dear to my heart. I love the music. It's very grounding for me. And I just wanted to share that all with you in this beautiful stamp set because maybe you feel the same way. Okay, this is a super, super fun card. I really wanted to do something soft and simple with the violin. I love that you can use the stencil. So we've got our wide open part of the stencil here to not only do the coloring inside of the violin, but also use it as a mask to add those cute little daisies in as an element, as a pattern element on the violin. So super fun. I'm also going to be sharing that this week as well. I've got little peeking flowers, and here's what I meant about that beautiful floral arch. I intentionally created that curve so that it could not only be used by itself, but it really just makes a beautiful design element coming out of that violin. Just super, super fun card. Clean, simple, couple different techniques going with it, but a really quick card to come together. Okay, so that beautiful element that I just shared that's on the arc that goes around the violin also is just absolutely stunning when you die cut it out and then you add that beautiful wavy banner through the center, a little bit of florals, and it's just a really, really fun card. Big punch of color because I'm using the stencil to add color to it. You could also use any kind of medium that you want, colored pencils, Copic markers, any alcohol marker, watercolor, and you can have some really, really nice fun with this. Okay, here's the last card that I'm going to share tonight. Super simple and clean. This has some summer vibes going for it. A note of encouragement. We've got a little bit of our notes. I've got the daisies on here, but kind of in that sunflower look and feel, and just exploding out leafery, and again, using that music staff in the background. Just love that. Okay, friends, don't forget, you can pick up the Note of Encouragement card idea sheet and the coordinating stencil guide for free in the Gina K Designs Facebook group. It'll be in the file section, or you can head on over to my website at indigojadeart.com, click on freebies, and you will see all of my stamp sets, all of the free card idea sheets for every stamp set in my Gina K collection. And this, my friends, is my 61st stamp set in the Gina K Designs collection. So all 61 of those card idea sheets are over on the website. Okay, friends, thanks so much for letting me come into your homes tonight. Tonight's release party is going to be super exciting. So sit back, relax, enjoy this evening's release party. Note of Encouragement is available now in the What's New section at GinaKDesigns.com. I will be going live this Thursday at 11. Hi friends, this is future Lisa popping in to share post-editing of this video that I will be going live at 10 a.m. this Thursday, not 11:30. My apologies, and I hope to see you there with a brand new live tutorial sharing some more card samples. We're going to do some watercoloring, some color combinations, and just create a really fun card together. Okay, friends, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I'm always so grateful to see you all every month and to hopefully bring some joy and inspiration into your lives. Okay, thank you, Gina. Thank you, Tom. Bye, friends. See you next time.
Oh, Lisa, those cards were absolutely spectacular, and I love this stamp set. I had commented in the chat while you were on that I think that not only is this just a great all-around stamp set, I mean, music is just good no matter what. It's so encouraging and so uplifting. But I also think that violin would be a beautiful Christmas card. It would make a beautiful Christmas card. And then one of our fun chat members said, yeah, put that with our music background stamp behind it, and it would be a great Christmas card. And then you did the wreath, and I thought, oh, that would be a great Christmas card too. So for those of you that like to get your Christmas cards started early, this one can do double duty, because it's certainly beautiful for spring, summer, and fall cards, but it would also make a great holiday design. Wow, Lisa, you knocked it out of the park. And Lisa did say that she has 61 idea sheets, because Lisa's been with us for quite a long time and has created 61 different stamp sets. Now, just like all of our illustrators and all of my stamp sets, we retire many things because we have to make room. Can you imagine if we kept every stamp set? We'd need a building the size of a Walmart or a Target to house all of it. So we always do have to retire things. But check out Lisa's idea sheets, because like I said, all of her stamps are sized to work together. So if you have an idea sheet even for a retired stamp set, you could plug in some of her newer florals or her newer elements and use the layout and the idea with something else that you have in your Lisa Hetrick collection. All right, everybody. Lisa, thank you so much. We just Absolutely love you, and you're so talented. Thank you for being here. Check Lisa out on YouTube, subscribe to her channel, and check her out on Instagram too. She's always sharing great inspiration. Well, we have our next illustrator waiting in the wings, and this month she's done a background stamp for us. She's done a few backgrounds here and there, and they're always a huge success. And what's really fun about the way Argita does a background stamp, she does a background stamp so that it can look just like a focal image, and that's all you need with a beautiful greeting. Or, depending on how you stamp it and how you work it into your card, it can add lots of beautiful texture to your card as well. It can be muted and just a little bit of beautiful texture. So this is her new background stamp. It's called Tangled Garden. There is not a die for this because there is nowhere to cut. Everything is attached to everything else. It's not meant for that, but when you see what Argita has done with it, you'll understand even more. So let's welcome her to the program, Argita Singh.
Hi guys, Arjita here. Welcome to Gina K Designs June 2025 release, and I'm super excited to be here and to share the stamp set I have for you for this release. So right now in India, it's very hot, and it's kind of very difficult to do anything creative because it's super hot and unbearable. So we're just waiting eagerly for monsoons to arrive and have those beautiful rain showers, and that is something which I am looking forward. So getting back to the stamp set for this month, I have a beautiful floral, very delicate wine and floral background stamp for all of you, which is going to be a super versatile stamp set which you can use again and again. And there can be so many techniques which you can use in this stamp set. So I hope you will like it, and without further ado, let me show you this stamp set. So this is called Tangled Garden Background, and I had so much fun creating this. This is a very interesting stamp set. It has various flowers and very delicate wine. The line art is not very thick, not very thin, so you can do some coloring if you like, some detailed coloring in a section, cut it out with a circle die and just put a sentiment there with the most intricate kind of coloring you wish to do. Or you can just do some ink blending on top of it. You can do spray inks on it, let the water do its work. You can just do heat embossing on it with white, with clear embossing powder, and it is going to look beautiful for almost all kinds of cards. This will look beautiful for wedding cards, for baby showers, for your spring cards, for Easter cards, for everything. So this is a very versatile stamp set, and I hope you will enjoy it. So this is Tangled Garden Background, and this is going to be available now on the website, and I'll be sharing a bunch of card samples I created using this one, along with all the beautiful releases we have for tonight. So I'll be sharing a few of my card samples which I created using this stamp set, and of course a background stamp can be used on its own to create beautiful cards, but it's always fun to club it with older stamp sets you have in collection, and that is also what I'm going to do. And of course I'll be using the brand new release, and I'm so lucky to have that stuff with me. That's right there in that box, and I had so much fun playing with other stamp sets which are going to be released tonight with this floral background. So let me quickly turn my camera and I'll show you the card samples I created. So this is how the stamp set looks, and this is a 6x6 background stamp, and I have few card samples to share with you. To start with, this is the first card. This was a fun one, and for this I just used some liquid watercolor spray bottles and spritzed all these lovely colors, allowed them to blend, and then finished it with this cute sentiment from one of the stamp sets which will be released tonight. This is the next card, and this is super simple and very quick to make but looks so elegant. So all I did was stamp the image with some Gina K Designs amalgam ink, which is perfect if you want to use Copic markers, and I used just one of the E series, I think it's E35, which I used to fill in all the remaining space. And this looks like a batik or a resist, but this is very simple, no fancy techniques, and finished it with this beautiful sentiment which says, "Every gathering needs a bowl full of treats and a heart full of friendship." Such a beautiful sentiment. This is the next card, and for this one I did some no-line watercoloring on my Arches cold press watercolor paper with my favorite Daniel Smith watercolors, and this was fun. I am so happy that this turned out well. This is the next card, and this is so beautiful, so much fun. I did use an old art stencil from Gina K Designs. I used this negative space. I had placed this cardstock on my Misty and adhered the oval on top of it, and then stamped the background, which gave me this beautiful open area where I stamped my sentiment. And if you do not enjoy no line coloring, you can totally do this with black lines and blue or monotone colors. It'll look beautiful, and I hope you like it too. So this is the last card, and for this I stamped the image using Gina K Designs amalgam ink in Whisper, which is my favorite when I want to do pencil coloring. So this is using Prismacolor pencils, and it turned out super cute. I just did this section because pencil coloring in such tiny detailed stamps and images is kind of tough, but the result is good. You can do this kind of a technique using any coloring medium of your choice. I'm sure your cards will look beautiful. I finished this with thin black border matte and a beautiful, beautiful, one of my favorite sentiment dies from Gina K Designs, and this card was done. So these are all the cards I created using Tangled Garden background, and I can't wait to see what all you create using this. So that is all from my side tonight, and I hope you liked all the card samples I created using Tangled Garden background, and I hope you will love this stamp set and use it to its full capacity. And I can't wait to see all the cards you create using this. Do not forget to tag me on my Instagram, which is mentioned here. So I'll be sharing snaps of all these cards which I created on my Instagram and Facebook as well. If you have any questions regarding any of the card or techniques, please put in your question, and I love reading your comments. I'll be more than happy to answer that. And that's all for tonight from my side. Thank you so much, Gina and Tom, for having me, and thank you all for joining us. And I hope all of you have a lovely evening ahead, and see you soon next time.
Wow. Argita, you leave me speechless, the way that you color. Oh my goodness. She makes a background stamp look pretty good, doesn't she? That is absolutely amazing. And that background stamp truly is beautiful. That's something that I love about her background stamps, is you can stamp them and color them and they become the focal image. Or you can stamp them like I'm going to show you later in one of my card projects, just to add a little bit of texture in the background. So many ways to use that. I loved your cards, Argita. I love this new background stamp, and I'm so glad that we have it in our collection. You can check out Argita's YouTube channel. You can find her, Argita Singh, and you can also check her out on Instagram. Now, all of our illustrators always post all of their cards that they've made during the release in our Facebook group. So if you're not a member of our Facebook group, we would love to have you over there. It's a great resource for card ideas. Our files section is filled with all kinds of downloadable charts and idea sheets and everything else. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. Make sure you're in the right one. It's the one that has 49,000 members, because a couple people have now tried to start their own group using that same name, and Facebook won't take them down. So make sure you find our group. It's the one with 49,000 members. And we would love to have you over there. All you have to do is answer a couple of questions and agree to our rules, and we will let you right in. We would love to have you. All right, Argita, thank you so much for sharing your talent with us month after month. We love your stamp sets. Now, I know that a couple things may either be close to selling out or have sold out. First thing tomorrow morning, we will reorder everything that has sold out. So don't worry. Just make sure you get on the Notify Me list. This way, as soon as it comes back in, you'll be the first one to get an email before people even discover that it came back in stock. So we put those items in, you get an email, and you get to be one of the first people to buy it. So we use the Notify Me list to determine how many we need to reorder. So if you don't get on the list, we may not have enough. So if it's something you want and it did sell out, please put it on that, get your email in that notify me list, and we will make sure to give you a notification. All right, well, our next illustrator actually has 2 stamp sets this month. One is a beautiful background, and one is a really useful greeting set. So let me show you both of these. This is the pin dot background, and everybody loved Deborah Warner's big birthday set, and now she's done it again with part 2 called Birthday Wishes. This one is a stamp and die bundle, and I'm going to let her tell you all about both of these and show you some amazing card projects, maybe even a tag or two if I know Debbie. Now, I could be wrong, but Debbie usually doesn't disappoint. So let's welcome her to the program, Deborah Warner.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Gina and Tom. Thanks for having me. It's June 2025, and we have an awesome release for you tonight. This morning, this afternoon. I'm really excited about it, but I'm also excited that you chose to join us for our release. Thank you for being here. All right, let me get started talking about my newest stamp set. It's called Birthday Wishes. And if you remember, about 3 years ago, I came out with a stamp set called Big Birthday. It was the first in my big series. I think there's 3 of those. Gina and I were talking a couple months ago, and we were talking about possibly doing dies for that set. And then we were like, you know what? Let's just retire it, and let's just have Debbie create a new one, and we'll do dies for the new one. So that's what we did. So this is Birthday Wishes. It has big stamps, small stamps, and medium stamps, all that say happy birthday. I do have a candle in there, and then I also really like this little birthday cake that has icing that reads happy birthday. I also have a small one and a kind of a pretty small one there too. I have medium-sized ones. I always like to have a small one because there are times when I have a quite busy card and I'm just looking for the tiniest little happy birthday to stick in the corner on the bottom there or on the top. So anyway, that's why those are there as well. Okay, let me also tell you about, we have a new stamp set coming out tonight called Pin Dot. I love polka dots. I don't know if you remember that about me, but I do. I have a little bit bigger dot in bitty backgrounds, and that's just about stamp about that big. But one of my absolute favorite techniques to do with polka dot stamps is to use clear embossing powder. So it's a tone-on-tone look, and it's subtle, but I just love the way it comes out and the way it looks. So give it a try. All right, let me show you my samples, and be right back. On this card, my cardstock colors are Craft, In the Navy, Cherry Red, and White. I used our Starstruck stencil for the background in the Navy ink. That ink was also used for the greeting. And the panels are cut out of Master Layouts 10. On this shaker card, I used Turquoise Sea for my card base. The Fizzy stencil was used for the background. Powder blue, blue raspberry, and apple mint are the colors. My fishes are from Best Fishes, and they are colored in Prismacolor pencils with some Gamsol. And those sequins have been in my stash for probably 10 years. And here's another shaker, but this one is a tag. I used our Circle Shaker die in slate and white cardstock for this one. My greeting is in white embossing powder, and I colored all the candles with my Prismacolor pencils. On this birthday card, my cardstock colors are Sweet Corn, Grass Green, and White. I used our Whimsical Primrose stencil. The colors I used for stenciling were Sweet Corn, Butterscotch, Tangerine Twist for my yellows. For my greens, I used Key Lime, Jelly Bean Green, and Fresh Asparagus. I finished off the stencil by using the new Pin Dot stamp set, and I love the way it turned out. To me, it looks like they are fabric flowers. They're so cute. I used Master Layouts 4 for the scalloped panel and finished it off with some of our beautiful rainbow pearls. On this card, I used Ocean Mist and white for my cardstock colors. I used the pin dot background in clear embossing powder. I colored my birthday cake in with my Prismacolor pencils and finished it off with some pink rainbow hearts. On this birthday card, I used lovely lavender grass green white for my cardstocks. I used our Princess Circle Die in vellum. I also used our Sassy Stripes stencil in wild lilac ink. I used a corner rounder for that as well. The beautiful flowers are from Let's Get Started die set, and I used a little bit of alcohol markers on the inside of the flowers. I actually cut those in white, and then I used my alcohol markers on those. Finished it off with some of our soft white pearls. On this tag for a birthday gift, my colors are white, lucky clover, and dusty rose. I used the pin dot background on this one and the playful posies flowers that are cut in the dusty rose. I did my greeting in white embossing powder on that lucky clover cardstock for some contrast. On this card, I used innocent pink, dusty rose, and white for my cardstocks. The flowers are from Roundabout Florals, and I did color those in with Prismacolor pencils and cut that image again, as well as the birthday greeting, with craft foam and just glued those together for some dimension. I used the new pin dot background for the background, and that is stamped in dusty rose on the innocent pink. I used gold embossing powder for my greeting. I love that greeting. It is in 2 pieces, so you can put it together on the same line, or if you want to stack it like I did, you can go ahead and do that. I hope you enjoyed my samples. As always, I love to make cards, so I had a lot of fun with those 2 stamp sets. I did enjoy incorporating that pin dot into several of my cards and one of my tags. So this release, this is my favorite card. I just like the way it turns out. A lot of different products on there, but it's not really too busy, and I like the size of that happy birthday and that font. I thought that was just it worked really well together. And then this is an honorable mention. This card, I used that technique that I talked about where I like to do polka dots in clear embossing powder because it's a tone-on-tone look. And I also really like the happy birthday. I tried to find a font that looked kind of like someone would be doing writing with icing. So anyway, those are my 2 favorites. Again, I want to thank you all for being here with us for our release. Please tag me if you use any of my stamp sets. I really enjoy seeing your creativity and what you do with my stamp sets. Thank you again, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Debbie, you didn't disappoint me. You made several tags, and I absolutely loved your shaker tag. I thought that was a really unique idea. I don't know if you actually put the little candles inside and they moved around, or if they were on, like, adhered to the front. But when you share that card in the Facebook group, make sure you let us know exactly how you did that, because I thought that looked amazing. All of your cards are fantastic, and I have to tell you, when you first came to me and said, I want to do a pin dot background, I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Debbie, I couldn't keep my hands off of that. That's on several of my cards tonight that I used with my kit. It's an amazing background stamp. And I was reading some comments in the chat, and some people said, Debbie, I wore your big birthday stamp set out, and I'm so glad to now have a new birthday set. It was time. So thank you for sharing your talent with us. Debbie always posts her portion of the video on her YouTube channel, and she always shares all of her cards in our Facebook group and on Instagram. So make sure you come over to our Facebook group and check out all of the inspiration. And you can always save those pictures too to a folder on your computer or to your phone so that you don't forget those ideas just by right-clicking on the picture and save it into a folder. So if you like any of the cards, I don't know how you couldn't like all those gorgeous cards, but if there's certain ones that you just don't want to forget, you can grab them right out of our Facebook group and save them to your computer or to your phone. All right. Well, thank you, Debbie. Now we have our final illustrator waiting in the wings, and tonight she's got a beautiful stamp and die bundle that is perfect for spring going into summer. Tulips are her favorite flower. They're definitely up there in my top 5. Let's take a look at this gorgeous set, and it is called Beautiful Tulips. I love how she did a full vase of tulips. I think that that's fantastic for get well cards and sympathy cards and wedding cards. It's just beautiful. But then she also gave us bigger, bolder tulips and stems so we can create our own bouquets and wreaths and swags and long stems. And you know she's going to be filled with inspiration tonight. This one also comes with a coordinating die set if you get the bundle. And if you're like me and you don't want to do all that masking and you love to pop things up, make sure you grab the bundle. So let's welcome her to the program. I can't wait to see the cards that she's made tonight. Here she is, Melanie Menchinger.
Hey everyone, Melanie Menchinger. Thank you so much for joining us for our June release party. I am thrilled to share my newest set from Gina K Designs with you, Beautiful Tulips. The response was so wonderful to Beautiful Roses. I just had to follow up with an elemental tulip set as well as a gorgeous arrangement in this vase. It's perfect for coloring, embossing, so many different techniques, and it is so fun for arranging all different varieties of tulips here for occasions year round. I've also got some very versatile sentiments in here, Hope Springs Eternal, Thoughts and Prayers, and On Your Special Day, which can work for almost anything. I'm also going to mix this up with one of my other recent sets, and all the greetings go really well with that. We've also got coordinating dies that will cut out every image, which makes it very easy to build with the leaf, stem, and then the blooms. We've got one die that cuts out that huge image in the vase, and then of course we've got dies for all of the greetings. So let's just jump right into the samples. The first card I made with this set, and this might be my favorite card that I made for the release, but I just can't decide. I used one of our new backgrounds. I believe it's called the Tangled Vines. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but it has this beautiful whimsical design here that I just stamped in the passion pink to match my base, blended over it and masked off the bottom so it looks like wallpaper in a tablecloth. And let me just show you up close the coloring that I did on all of those tulips. So they come in such a variety of colors. You can color them any way you want. I will be sharing videos with how I like to do my coloring using alcohol markers, but I just used 2 shades of green for the foliage there, a little bit of a gray to make it look like a clear vase, and then some really pretty pinks, peaches, and yellows on those tulips. I just love this card. The next one I want to show you, if you don't want to do as much coloring, I wanted to show a very simple one that you could do with some white tulips. These are my inspiration here in the background. I have this on a soft stone base, and I just used a very pale blue-gray marker at the base and the insides of those tulips, and a very, very pale yellow-green to just bring a little bit of life into those white petals. And then again, just 2 greens on the leaves. Use that fun master layout scallop, and I think that that edge is just so pretty with the way that the petals create those scallops on a tulip. And then I used some of the new little silver, black, and gold embellishments on that just to give it a little sparkle and bling there in the corners. And then a little shadow with that same gray-blue marker. Love this card. Now let's do some building here. I've got a scene that I did with a blended sky using some of the Blue Sky ink. I have this on the apple mint base, and then I have stamped 3 different tulip blooms here. So they look like they are in different stages of opening. I didn't look up the names of the different varieties, but if you've ever been to a spring or summer display of blossoms at an arboretum, you see they have those very frilly ones, the ones that have the very smooth petals. So I just think they're just the most beautiful flower. And then I've got 2 different leaves in that set that you can turn one way or the other. So you're gonna see in my different cards Either way, you can position them onto the stem, and then same with the stem. There's just one stem, but depending on whether you flip it one way or turn it 180 degrees, you can have it bending the other way. So it just gives you a lot of versatility in your layouts. And then again, just some simple coloring with my alcohol markers. The next one that I did, I used some of the die cuts to make them pop out. Used some master layouts dies here, but I wanted to have them framed up inside this oval. I did a little blending here with the Peach Bellini ink to match my card base, and then just some very simple coloring, just a couple colors here on the flower, and then those greens there on the leaves and stems. And then I hope that you can see this. I wanted to put just a little bit more sparkle and dimension on this, but I used some of the Gina K clear dewdrops, and they really do look like little drops of dew on the edges of those leaves and on the petals. So it just looks so realistic and pops off of the card. The next one that I want to show you, I kind of wanted to make it, I can't remember if it's called a parrot tulip. I don't remember this varietal, but they have these gorgeous stripes. And so I just masked off the top of my card and then did a little bit of blending with some of the soft stone ink, and that's just going to create a little tabletop there. And I have just that single simple bloom there with the Hope Springs Eternal opening. Again, I used that scallop die, and then this is just 2 different red markers here to create those stripes. It is so easily just to freehand that in, but I would recommend looking up different tulips on the internet to see how you want to get that blend or create those patterns. It's very foolproof though, the way that you can make them on the card. The next one that I want to show you, I used some Master Layouts dies again, and I created an oval frame with the different leaf and one of the bloom elements in the set. So I just laid the die right onto my mat, then I stamped the leaves and the flowers around it. I popped one up, and then I used my Thinking of You and one of my butterflies from my previous butterfly frame set. So all these greetings go really great with the style of this illustration, and then if you want to add a little bit of life, some butterflies from that set landing on these tulips, it's just the perfect scale and style of illustration. And then I added a couple of those little black and gold embellishments on the butterfly and at the corner. And then just a little bit of the, I believe that's the Lucky Clover that I blended there to just really make that die cut Thinking of You pop. The final card that I'm going to share today, just loved coloring this one. I created a wreath by just stamping those flowers around a circle, and then I die cut my circle here of the thoughts and prayers, and then just die cut a couple of the images. You don't have to do them all, but just to give it a little more dimension. So I've got some purple, some pink, some red, some yellow going on there, and then I just tucked in a few of those leaves, and it just looks so realistic. I also used a gray blue marker on this just to draw a shadow on there by tracing the underside of all of the ones that are not cut out, and it really gives a lot of dimension to this floral arrangement, and that's on a perfect plum base. So I'm loving this set. I've got all of these different layouts here on an inspiration sheet for you, which I will be uploading to the Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Facebook group in our file section. That'll be a free PDF for you to download. But I am just so excited to see what our guest designers are going to do and what all of you are going to do with this set. I love all the feedback and encouragement that I got when Gina posted the peek of these tulips, so I think that you are going to really love this set. So thank you so much for letting me share tonight. Have a wonderful time at the party, and I look forward to what you're going to make with beautiful tulips. Tutorial videos coming up very soon. Love you all. Bye.
Melanie, those cards were gorgeous. And I saw that you had tulips in the background. And I love those white tulips were beautiful. And I love how you showed us how you can create white tulips with just a little bit of those pale blues and yellows down near the base. I definitely have to try that. Those cards were absolutely stunning. And this stamp set is already, I can see it's a huge hit. So if you want to follow along with Melanie's tutorials that she's going to be putting on YouTube and look at her inspiration sheet and make some of those cards, make sure you check out that stamp set. It's in the What's New category called Beautiful Tulips, and get the dies, get the stamp and die bundle, because you don't want to miss out on being able to cut everything out and pop it all up. Oh, I love those cards. Every one of our illustrators tonight just knocked it out of the park. Make sure you check Melanie's YouTube channel, and she is on Instagram. She doesn't post a lot on Instagram, but she always shares her cards in our Facebook group. So make sure you join over there to see all of her cards. And like I said, you can always save those cards to your phone or your computer for reference for later. Melanie, I have tulips in my garden that are ruffly like that, and I don't know what they're called, but they're really interesting, and I'm glad that you included some of those more rare types of tulips, because a lot of us really like all the different varieties, just like you do. All right. Thank you to all the illustrators for being here tonight and sharing all of your gorgeous stamp sets and die sets and different ways to use them. Well, now it's my turn, and I have a brand new card kit to share with you tonight. And I have to tell you, this card kit, we did something really crazy as the free gift. We actually did a stamp and die bundle as the free gift in this kit. So the free gift is valued at $44.95. That's what it's going to be when it goes into our regular collection. And that's the gift inside this card kit. So buckle up. Are you ready to see what's in this? I feel like I'm doing an unboxing video. You know how like a lot of people do unboxing videos? I want to just back up a little bit there. All right, so let's take a look at this together, and I'm going to show you all the fun components. First of all, when you get your card kit, it always comes in this cute little box reminding you that there is a whole lot of happiness inside. And a little note from me saying, hey friend, sending love from our craft room to yours. And there's Tom and I up there. Can you see Tom? He's wearing his headphones. Looks just like you, Tom. Perfect. Let's see you, Tom. Can I see? See? Isn't that Tom right there? Brian drew these of us, so it's so cute. All right, and then I always encourage people, well, I forget to do this once in a while, but I want to encourage you to take a look at the pictures in the box itself, because it's really, really interesting, all of the little Easter eggs that Brian put into the background design. It's fun to look at. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at what's inside. First of all, you're going to get this little sheet, this index sheet that you can keep with your kit to remind you of what stamp sets came in this kit. Now, this kit is called Relax and Have Fun, because this is a kit of all the things that I know a lot of you, certainly me and my family, what we love to do to relax and have fun. So we've got things for people of all ages in this kit. We have things for those teens. We have things for the young adults, the millennials, the Gen Z. We have things for the Gen Xers and the baby boomers. We have things for the outdoor enthusiasts, the gardeners, and the gamers. So and also some beautiful florals in here. We must not forget the beautiful florals. So let's take a look at what's inside. So this kit includes the Next Gen stamp set, and then it has this huge die set that coordinates with it, the Next Gen die set. It also has the Great Outdoors stamp set. These are all 6x8 stamp sets, so these are the biggest, the big ones. This is a fantastic silhouette stamp set that features golfing, fishing, and cycling. Tom, this one's for you. Right there, that's you. And then we've got this beautiful hibiscus 4-piece layering stencil. This one was designed by my daughter Alicia. She puts in all those layers for me, and they always look so amazing when she's done. Then for the bonus, my daughter Rena came up with this idea. This is her stamp design, her stamp and die set. This is the Spice of Life Stamp and Die Collection. So right now, for those of you that follow me on my personal Facebook page and also on Instagram in my stories, you know that I'm really getting into gardening, and Tom built me a garden box. Well, one of the things that I really enjoy is to grow spices, grow herbs. I love growing herbs, and I bought many years ago, I bought a dehydrator. They're not expensive, real cheap little dehydrator. And I like to dehydrate my herbs, and then I like to either jar them or bag them and give them to people. So this stamp set right here is fantastic for herb gift giving. It's also great to mark your plants, especially your indoor garden. And it's also really cute to make cute little herb and gardening related cards. So let's take a look at these stamp sets, the big stamp sets in real life, and I will show you some card samples that I made. So shall we start with the free gift? Let's start with the free gift. So here it is. Not only is it a free gift, it's a free stamp set, but it is a 6x8 stamp set. And that's because when Rena and I were going through this and we were trying to create this, she loves to cook, I love to cook, and we're like, oh, well, we need ginger, well, we need parsley, well, we need basil, and it just kind of got out of hand. So it went from being a 4x6 gift to a 6x8 gift. So all of these different herbs and spices fit inside this label, which you can either stamp or you can gold emboss or silver emboss, however you want to do it. And all of the images with the greetings are connected, so you're not going to lose all these little bitty pieces or not know which design goes with which title. So you've got garlic, dill, tarragon, coriander, nutmeg, thyme, basil, rosemary, cumin, ginger, saffron, one of my favorites, saffron. I'm going to grow saffron this year. I'll tell you how that goes. Cinnamon, bay leaves, parsley, sage, and oregano. So you can make a spice rack if you want out of this, or if you grow any of these things, you can make your own sticks to go in those plants. Then we added some greetings in here, and they're a little bit funny and quippy. You spice up my life. It's your birthday, time to celebrate, and we spelled it like the plant, time to celebrate. Your soup herb. We had to do it. You're superb. Thanks for helping me grow. That's a nice sentiment, right? And then seasons greetings, because these are all seasonings and you season your food. So seasons greetings. We just had to do it. It's so cute. And then it comes with a coordinating die set that cuts the label out and it cuts all of the greetings out. Now I want to show you just a couple quick little things that I made with this, all right? So the first thing I want to show you is here are some of my bay leaves. So this is just like a little gift and kind of a cute way that you can send a gift of spices, give a gift of spices to a friend or a neighbor. All I did was just put it in a little plastic bag here, and this is actually the outer plastic bag from the die set. And I just saved the bag. I always save all the outer bags. And they're fun to just put herbs and spices in. So I put the bay leaves in there, and then I just made a little belly band using the new pin dot background stamp. And I wrapped that around and I overlapped it, and then I made a little label with the bay leaves on top. And wouldn't that be a fun way to maybe make 2 or 3 of those and give them as a gift to a neighbor, maybe who doesn't garden or maybe just loves spices? Now, let me tell you something. If you don't garden and you don't grow and dry your own herbs, you can buy herbs and you can turn them into cute little gifts and nobody would be the wiser. just buy the herbs, buy the spices, and do little gifts like this for the holidays. Maybe you have a tiny little gift exchange where it's like no more than $10 a person. You could do a couple little bags of different spices, and spices are very valuable. People love spices, and you could wrap them up like this and give them as a little gift. So I love that. I think that's so much fun for the bay leaves. Now I'll show you something else that I made here. This is from my house. This is my sage plant. This is my sage plant right here. And I made my own little stick to put in it so that I remember which one is sage, which one is thyme, which one is basil, and which one is oregano, and all of that. Now, for those people that, of course, can just look at something and know what it is, you know, that's very good. But let's look at the front shot, Tom, so I can show them this, what this looks like. So see how cute that is? So if you are a gardener and you grow seeds, you could always gift your neighbor with a cute little plant, or gift somebody a cute little herb plant like that. And let me just show you what this looks like. So all I did here was, excuse the dirt, let me brush the dirt off of this. Okay, so all I did here is let's go back to the overhead. All I did here was I just stamped this one and die cut it out. And then I layered 2 of them together and then 2 more plain ones on the back. And I just used a little Connect glue and I glued them to these sticks. You can find these sticks in any garden shop or big box store, or you could just use popsicle sticks. It really doesn't matter. And then I just popped that into my plant. And even though I know this is sage, I just think it's cute. I want my little my inside windowsill garden to look like this. So I had to do it, and I love it. All right, so that is another thing that you can do. Now, I want to show you a card that I made with this stamp set, and I think this is super cute too. So I used that Circle Trio die plate, and I think that's what it's called. Brianne Loveland, who is avidly working in the comments over here on YouTube, linking everything that I'm using. She'll correct me if that's not the name of it. I always think it's a Circle Trio die plate because of the 3 circles. But all I did was, once again, I used the new pin dot background on some craft cardstock, and then I cut it out using that circle plate. And then I popped the pin dot background up off of a piece of white cardstock and I just stamped down into the circles. And then I colored those with some Prismacolor pencils. I layered it onto the plain rectangle from Master Layouts 2, because all of our cover plates that are the A2 size work with Master Layouts 2. And then I popped it onto a jelly bean green card base. And I used the You're Superb for the greeting. Isn't that fun? I love this little set. So many fun ways to use it, and great for gift giving. You know, I feel like our world is getting really falling in love with handmade gifts. I know a lot of people do needle arts and they stitch and they make scarves and things like that for each other. I think handmade gifts are really precious and people are really, really getting into it. The younger generation loves handmade gifts. So I just know that doing a pack of herbs, different herbs and things for the holidays is going to be such a fun way to make use of this set. Now also this little frame is a great frame for some of your smaller stamps too. So you can mix and match this frame with lots of different stamps that we've designed for postage cards. All of those can fit really nicely in this frame. So you can make a cute little baby card, and we've never done a really tiny frame like this. So it's great either way. In this direction, like I used it for my stick for my plant, or in this direction, like I did for my bag of herbs. So that is the Spice of Life 6x8 stamp set and coordinating die set, which is the free gift from this new card kit. All right, let's move on to the next one, shall we? I've got dirt everywhere. I don't know what I'm doing here. So the next thing I want to show you is this set here. So this is called Next Gen. Right up here is the word son that works with Mr. Fix-It, boy, nephew, cousin, friend, bro. All of these will work with Mr. Fix-It. Also with Mr. Fix-It, you can use those same greetings in that with the daughter, cousin, niece, girl, sister. So we did the female ones too for this set. And then we've got all of these cute elements. We've got this big iPhone. We've got all like elements that, well, I love all these things personally, but I'm thinking of the younger generation. I was thinking more about the things that my daughters really love. They love these kind of Instamatic cameras. Alicia asked for a Polaroid camera last year for Christmas, so I did a camera with the 2 pictures that shoot out, the gamer headset with the microphone, the little it's not a console, it's a hand. What do they call these, Tom? These parts of the gaming system?
Controller?
The controller, yeah. And then, and the thing that I love about this is it's not like there's boy things and there's girl things. My girls like everything on here. And, you know, my future son-in-law likes everything on here, you know? So you can do all of these things for anybody. It's got a cute little scooter. Rena used to ride a scooter to school. It's got books and coffee. My daughter Alicia is an avid coffee drinker and loves good books. It's got the Stanley, you know, all the kids are just buying all the Stanleys that they can. So it's got that water cup. My kids carry their water cups everywhere. It's got the iced coffee with the whip on the top, the journal. Then it's got the bubbles so that you can do text messages in this phone, which I think is really cute. Hey, Rena, I just showed everybody your new set and I think they love it. It's good to see you. It's got the bubbles so that you can do text messages in here. And then we've got all these little text messages. Keep in touch. Have a great day. Hope it's the best day ever. Congratulations. Happy birthday. So you can create a little birthday message down here. And then it's got some emojis. It's got the cool kid emoji with the sunglasses. It's got the smiley face. It's got the heart eyes. And then it's got the heart. So let's see. And then it has, I couldn't ask for a better. And then you can plug in any one of these things. I couldn't ask for a better nephew, daughter, cousin, niece. It's got, I'm so proud to call you my son, my boy, my girl. Bro. I had to put bro in there just in case Brian ever wants to make a card. Maybe he can make one for his bros. And also Rena says bro a lot. I think she calls me bro sometimes. So there is like all of these fantastic greetings that are so timely for that Gen Z, millennials, and then also for all of us too, because I like all these things. Then it's got this gigantic die set that cuts everything except the text messages because they're just too small to to cut. They're not too small to text, but too small to cut. So I want to show you a couple cards I made with these just so that you can get an idea. So I happen to have a Victoria's Secret gift card that I've been meaning to spend. I actually love pink. I like going to the pink store where they have all the cute little workout stuff and all. And so I made this little gift card holder. So this little gift card will come out and it just kind of sits in here in the cell phone nook. And I made a cell phone that has have a great birthday. That's where like the person's name would be. So you could put son, you could put daughter up in here if you want. You could put husband from Mr. Fix-It if you wanted to do some text messages to your husband. And then I just decided instead of doing it traditional blue like an iPhone or green like, a regular text, I decided to make it colorful. So I did a pink one for happy birthday, then an orange one that says hope it's the best day ever with a smiley face, and then have a great day. And then I used Argita's new background stamp. I think you can see that in there, very tone on tone. Like I told you, I'm more of a simple background stamp maker. So I used that, and I cut this out with Master Layouts 2. I cut the cell phone out, and then I used some of our flat clear sequins, and I used one of our iridescent dots for the camera. So see how that camera just shines there? They fit perfectly over the little camera lens. And it even has like how much battery you have on this phone and the internet connection and stuff and what time it is. I just chose 12 o'clock because that seemed like the most reasonable time. I should have chose 5 o'clock because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? But isn't that a fun little way to present a gift card? I love that. And the cardstock color is bubblegum pink, and I played it off here with some bubblegum pink, sweet mango, ocean mist, and apple mint. So that's a fun way to do a gift card. You know, love that. Okay, so now I want to show you another card that I made. I made this card using our postage set, and I made this this is from Master Layouts 14. I decided to put like a bunch of things in here that my daughters might like. And I used those iridescent dots to add sparkle to all of the different little elements. You can see them shining there. So I put the little books with the coffee, and I just decorated the books. And I did the Stanley, and I decorated the rim of the Stanley. I added some little dots here on the journal. I filled in the little circles and the lens here with some of those iridescent dots, and then I just added some dots onto the hearts there. They would be the pictures that came out of this Polaroid. And then I used some of the little postage elements from our Postcards and More stamp set, and I used the coordinating postage grid stencil that works with our Master Layouts 14 to add the sea glass behind there. And then I popped up all of the images. So I cut them out. I didn't worry whether or not they fit perfectly. I just cut them out and popped them up to give it some dimension. And then we've got I'm so proud to call you my daughter. Now, instead of using priority, I could have used some of the text messages like happy birthday I could have put in there instead and turned this into a birthday card. But isn't that fun? Love, love that. Okay, now I want to show you another card that I made, and I thought this one might be good for a son, especially a gamer son, maybe. So I used 2 different background stamps here. I used the pin dot in soft stone here, and then behind it I used the close-knit background stamp just to add some texture behind these designs and give it a cozy look, because when you're gaming, it's always so cozy to wrap up in a blanket and have some fun. So I wanted to have that cozy element. So I used the little headset with the microphone, and then I used the controller, and then I used the scooter over here. I popped them all up so they're all kind of popped up, and then the circle is recessed there because I used that same circle plate. And then I couldn't ask for a better son. And then inside you could use one of Beth's greetings, a happy birthday greeting. You could use one of Debbie's new birthday wishes greeting inside. Just a big happy birthday in there would be really cute. And you can always pop in a gaming card in here, a Nintendo card or whatever. But isn't that fun? And I used some of our metallic gold, silver, and black pearls. So I used the black pearls from that collection. So isn't that fun? These are 3 cards made right here with this brand new Next Gen Stamp and Die collection from the kit. All right. I know it does look like Tom's headset. You're right. It looks... Tom, is your headset like a gamer headset? There you are, right there. Okay. Which one's your favorite, Tom? Not the Victoria's Secret one. But if that had like an Eric's Bike Shop gift card and it was done in red. Do you have a favorite?
Well, they all look fun.
Yeah, don't they? These are not your favorite. I'm going to show them your favorite coming up next.
Yes.
All right. Tom does have a favorite card. Okay, so that's this set and this set. Now I want to show you this set right here. So this... Let me grab that out of here. This is called The Great Outdoors. And this is a great set for people who love to spend their free time outside, getting some fresh air. And this is a building set, so you can build scenes with this set, and it's so easy to use. I'll definitely be making some videos with this. So I know a lot of my friends are avid golfers. I am not an avid golfer, but a lot of my friends are. So I wanted to make sure that we included golf. And I wanted to also make sure that we included both a male golfer and a female golfer, because one of my very best friends loves golf, and she's on the golf course quite a bit, and it would be a really fun card for her. So I added, a male and a female there for golf, and then there's a little T in here. That's not a T. What is that? That's a flag for the hole. There's no golf tee. There's a flag for the hole right there. And then there is a golf bag, if you can see that on the stand. So I used all of these elements to make a golf card. And let me show you the golf card that I made using this set. So here it is. This was so easy. I just did a cloud background, and I did it with like a little bit of a rainbow effect just to add some color, because I knew this was going to be a mostly black and white kind of card. Then I stamped the mountains in the background using soft stone. So I don't know which one. I think I did this one. These two actually layer together. So if you wanted to use them together, you could do this one in soft stone and this one in stormy sky, and lay them together, and it'll give you like two groups of mountains. But I just wanted one group of mountains here, so I used soft stone for that. And then for the fairway, well, the tee-off area, this could be the fairway too, I used stormy sky. I don't know all my golf lingo, apparently. I used stormy sky, and then I stamped all the elements in black onyx. I stamped a few of the birds up there, and it looks like he just took a swing, and that ball, he got a hole in one, I could tell. And then I have enjoy your special day down here. So this was so easy to make. I made this card actually this morning. I was still making cards, and I whipped this one out this morning because I wanted a little bit of a colorful one. Okay.
I offered to do a bad shot sentiment set, but didn't.
That didn't fly.
Didn't fly.
A bad shot sentiment set. All right, so that uses the golf. Now, the other elements we have in here is this guy fishing. So he's fishing, and then we've got this rocky kind of border here with kind of some stones and stuff that you could kind of stand on, and this is kind of like a lake view here. And then we've got the girl here, she's like holding the fish that she caught. So you could do either one, or you could do both of them. He could be fishing and she could be standing there with the fish that she just caught. I made her catch the fish because I'm like that. All right, so let me show you the card that I made using this. Here he is. I did kind of a sunset, so he's fishing late in the day, and he's just standing on that little edge there. And then I just took the fishing rod, which you can see here, and I just dropped it right onto that little spot right there, so it looks like a water ripple. And then I added one of the tree elements and just did a fade from, let's see, blue denim, and then I used turquoise sea, and then I used wild lilac, and then passionate pink and sweet mango. Just very light-handed, and did that blend. And I really like how the turquoise sea just felt very bright against these two darker shades, and it was like a perfect spot to kind of accent the enjoy your retirement greeting. All right, so there we go. Now I have me and Tom.
Yes.
This is Tom right here riding his bike, and this is me riding my bike. And then we have a little bit of a straightaway here if you wanted to do a more straight path, or you can do this a little bit of a curve for the bike path. You can do anything that you want. You can make him a mountain biker, and you can have him biking up in the mountains if you want. That's totally fine too. And then, of course, the trees and the birds really complete the look. So let me show you, Tom. Here's your favorite card. Right there. There's you and I biking along Lake Michigan. I made the lake, and I did some colorful clouds, and we're going by that tree. And there's you, and there's me with my little hair flying there.
That's prime time.
I made myself a little bit more athletic looking than you. Just kidding.
Yes, you did.
It does look a little more athletic, doesn't it? You look
Yeah.
a little bit more upright than me. Sorry about that.
That's quite all right.
And then I just added some birds in the sky. And this is, again, such an easy card to make. But I will definitely be making these cards for you so you can see how easy they are to make. They look, sometimes these scene building cards look complicated, but they are actually some of the easiest to make because it doesn't really matter where you stamp them. You know, if I stamp this guy back here a little bit more, if I stamped his foot right on the edge, it's still going to look good. So these are very, very easy cards to make. So that is the Great Outdoors stamp set and a bunch of card ideas for you there. And there are two different size trees. So these trees are two different sizes. That's why there's two trees in there. And you could put them like overlap them and do one in Stormy Sky and then one in Black Onyx, and that will give that little bit of depth. Anything that you do in the gray will always appear further away. So as you want to bring things closer, you start with your lightest color to be the furthest away. And then you can bring things like these trees. This tree feels like it's closer than the edge of this. So, but we'll go over that when we make these cards. All right, now I have couple more cards to show you because there is this gorgeous 4-piece layering stencil called Happy Hibiscus. And the hibiscus flower is a great addition to the frangipani plumeria flower that we did in the last kit. These are all tropical flowers. The birds came from the same stamp set. They're right here. They're right there. So I'm really digging tropical flowers for summertime cards. So I want to show you a couple of cards that I made with this. And this is just a beautiful, big, vibrant set. So the first card I made is this one here. I used our orchids. I don't use orchids enough, and this is the perfect stencil to break out your orchid inks. I used the medium orchid and the dark orchid, but I did go a little bit light-handed on the dark orchid because I just wanted it to feel like, you know, like the center of the flower got darker, but I didn't want the lines to be super defined. So I went a little bit light-handed. Then I used Lucky Clover and Grass Green for the leaves, and then I used Butterscotch for the stamen of these hibiscus flowers. And then I added a bunch of little black pearls on here, and then this Thinking of You is from the Thoughtful Flowers Stamp and Die collection. So isn't that just a fun, big, bright card? I actually just stenciled it on an A2 card panel, and then I cut the center out with Master Layouts 2. I cut a black layer, and then I layered them together, and I just popped those up using the cutout. I just put the cutout on my A2 card, and then I popped that up in the center. So that was all done with one stenciling. And I do have videos with this technique, so you'll be able to look through my channel and see a card that looks similar to this for the technique, but I can also make this in an upcoming video. All right, and then one that was a little bit calmer, not so many flowers, just used the stencil as it is, because I actually used the stencil and then flipped it and used it on the other side. Here's just a very simple one where I used Sun-Kissed Coral, I used Red Hot, and then I used those greens again, the Lucky Clover and the Grass Green, and the Butterscotch for the stamen. And then I used our Friend die from the Friend in Shadow die set. And then I used one of our sentiment strips from the All Occasion sentiment strips. So those are a couple of cards I made using this new stencil. And I love to mix and match floral stencils. You've seen me do that before, where you could have frangipani flowers coming in on this side and then hibiscus coming in up here. Or you can mix and match it with the lotus flowers, the carnations, whatever you want. Mixing and matching flower stencils like this is really fun. Plus, these big stencils are great for big scrapbook pages or even for making your own pattern paper. And you can also use these big stencils with the Glitz glitter gel that you can find at ThermoWeb. And you can even like stencil that glitter gel onto like a canvas bag and put the big hibiscus flower on there if you want. I wouldn't wash it, but once it's dry, it'll be good to go. So that would be a fun way to use this stencil as well. So these are all the cards that I made for you featuring the new kit. And we can't forget my plant that is off to the side here. Let's get all these cards in the picture. My little herbs. And then, of course, my sage plant with its little stick. So fun. Oh, I hope you guys love this kit as much as I do. I have so many ideas, and I got to tell you, this is the highest value kit that we've ever done, because the stamp and die bundle would be $50. The free gift is $44.95, so that's $45. That 4-piece layering stencil is $20. The stamp set alone is $24. So, like, you're getting all of this for $59.95. Plus, you get the storage box, and you get the magnets for these dies are all inside the die sets, and you get the little sheet, and you get lots of inspirational videos. So, this is a big one, Tom. What do you think?
That's a very, very busy summer right there.
It is, right? Gardening, playing games, having fun, going shopping, riding our bikes, fishing, golfing, all the fun things. So, Tom, this is your favorite, right?
It is.
That's your favorite card. I love this card too. I have to say, I love the cell phone idea with the gift card and how fun it is to just tuck a gift card right into the front of the card. I love the cell phone just because I'm on my phone a lot. I also love the hibiscus, and I absolutely love the gardening set because I love my plants. I talk to them every morning. Love it, love it. And you guys have been asking me to do something other than all flowers in a kit. And I know I do a lot of flowers, and I love my flowers, and the flowers aren't going to stop. There's going to be more. But having a kit like this that has something for everyone, this is just going to expand your card making collection. And you're never going to be sitting there going, oh gosh, you know, it's my nephew's birthday and I have to make a card. Which flower should I use for him? You don't have to do that now. You're going to have some really fun elements that can make just the perfect cards for everybody on your card making list, all in one kit. You know, and these are great for kids too. I mean, a cyclist, I know lots of kids that love to fish, love to golf. So, you know, you can use all of these. All right, well, we have some giveaways tonight. We're going to give away 3 $15 gift cards tonight to some of the lucky commenters from the chat. We see everybody in both Facebook and YouTube. I don't know, I think our feed broke on Twitch, but if you are on Twitch and you're watching and you made a comment, then it would have come through. So Tom is going to be the one to pick all of our winners. So are you ready?
We got them.
Oh, let me just answer Kim's question. The sentiment strips are in the What's New category. I forgot to put the picture up. So are you talking about the Grand, Life is Grand sentiment strips? They're in the What's New category. I forgot to put the picture up. I will put the picture up of that product. That was my job. Sammy reminded me. She said, I need the picture. I said, don't worry about it. I'll pull it up. And then I never did it. So that's my bad. And I also want to show you these one more time too. Don't forget, you have 2 really fun incentive sets to choose from, plus our cardstock incentive. So with your $75 purchase, you can pick one of those fun sets. All right. Oh, and the other sentiment strips are under cardstock. There's a category. Maybe Brienne can share those sentiment strips that are all occasion. If you can find those, Brienne, that would be awesome. All right, now it's your turn, Tom. I'm done talking.
All right, time to let our drummer loose. Drum roll, please. Tonight's winners are Michelle Yager, Linda Rubarski, and Doreen Stubbs. Yay!
Woohoo! Congratulations to all of our winners. All you have to do, winners, is send your name and email address to... We need to put this up for them at some point. info@GinaKDesigns.com. Let them know that you won the $15 gift card, and they will get that sent to you as a digital gift card. They never expire, so you can use it anytime you want. Maybe there was something in the release you put off, and now you have $15 toward it. So, all right, everybody, this was so much fun. Man, I had so much fun making these cards, and I can't wait to start getting back into making videos with this kit. Now, I am going to do Master Layouts 14, which is our postage set, on Thursday. I promised that I would pick up that series again, and I want to, but I'm going to use the kit with Master Layouts 14. So you're going to see cards created that use this brand new kit, and then I will use Master Layouts 14 to show you the different card ideas that you can make and how to use that set. So join us for that, and if you haven't joined us for our Master Layout series, it's a really good series to teach you all different ways that you can use your Master Layouts and which ones work together, and a lot of things maybe you hadn't thought of, and you can see more of the value of those Master Layout sets that you have in your craft room. So that's coming up on Thursday. Tom and I will be live right here in our studio with Master Layouts 14. Then on Friday, don't forget, I'm teaching a free class over at Simon Says Stamp. Their YouTube channel, you can head over there for the free class, and there's going to be lots of fun card making ideas in that class, and that'll be on Simon Says Stamp's YouTube channel. I'll share that in our Facebook group when we get closer. But in the meantime, all of these products are now available on our website at GinaKDesigns.com. You could click the What's New category. If you can't find something in that category, you're looking for the card kit, just type in the word relax in the search bar and the card kit will pop right up. And if you're not a member of our Facebook group, once again, we'd love to have you over there. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. We share lots of Gina K Designs inspiration, so you can get even more ideas from all of our wonderful guest designers and guest YouTubers who make fantastic content, and you will get to see some beautiful projects by them. And then if you liked tonight's video, and we sure hope that you have, we would love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. And then also don't forget to click subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. All right, everybody, this was so much fun. Thank you for joining us and giving us so much of your time tonight. We'll be back on Thursday with more inspiration for you. And until then, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. And mwah, we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.